Good morning and welcome to today's Voyager Digital Webcast as part of the Planet MicroCap Showcase. It is now my pleasure to turn the floor over to your host, Steve Ehrlich, CEO and co-founder of Voyager Digital. Sir, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you to everyone who is listening and watching the slides as we go through this. We're really excited to be here and to walk through the latest Voyager presentation. Voyager is the fastest growing digital asset broker in North America, and we are a publicly traded company on the Canadian Securities Exchange and the OTC markets. This presentation is up on our website, so you feel free to go to investvoyager.com and go to our investor relations section so you can read the legal disclaimer and the forward-looking statements. We tend to talk about the Voyager difference, and there's 6 key points to the Voyager difference. First and foremost, it is the easiest to use mobile app on the marketplace to trade and invest in cryptocurrencies. We built this mobile app, when we started 3 years ago, we built it with the mindset of making crypto simple for consumers to participate in that ecosystem. We currently have our desktop in beta. We have about 400 users using that. We expect to scale that out over the next few months and bring that same simplicity to the desktop so consumers could trade and invest in the crypto markets. But it doesn't stop there. A couple of the other key points of us in our differentiators is the number of coins we trade on our platform. We trade over 50 coins. So even when Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin or Bitcoin Cash, the big 4 are not, volatile enough for people to trade, they can participate by investing. But then we have 50 other coins that people actively trade on and engage with our platform. Things like Doge and StormX, 2 big coins that we've seen tremendous activity with in the last few weeks. In addition to having over 50 coins, we also offer interest on over 20 of those coins with interest rates up to 10% on the USDC stablecoin. You are allowed to actually trade and earn interest at the same time without locking up your coins like many other interest-bearing places do. And then 2 of the other key components of our Voyager difference is the depth of our liquidity and how fast we execute a trade. I got this question multiple times in the last few days from institutional investors asking about how fast do we actually execute our trades. It's microseconds. Consumers actually get the price they see when they hit the buy or sell. That is the price they get, and in microseconds we're pairing that off in the market. And that's because we have the deepest pool of liquidity in the marketplace by connecting to 10+ exchanges and market makers and OTC desks to ensure there's depth of liquidity for consumers. And then lastly is the vast community that we've built around both our app, our stock, and our token. We talk about it as 3 touch points that we have to engage with Voyager consumers. And that is our app, that is our token, and that is our stock. And we're really excited about all 3 of these things as we continue to grow the business. There are 4 key investment highlights that I want to put in front of everybody to make sure that everybody should own Voyager in their portfolio. The first is the massive market opportunity. Now, the massive market opportunity, you can see by the comparison of where crypto markets are today, give or take about $2 trillion now, versus the gold market, which is about $9 trillion, and then the total investable market of 120. So you could see that the opportunity, we're still in the really early stages of investing and trading in crypto. And there's a long way for us to go, but we think we will catch up on gold in a very near future. And what really separates, and why is this an opportunity at this point in time? There's a couple of key points here. One is consumers have a lack of trust in governments. The U.S. government has put $1.9 trillion into the economy, and more is coming. So there's a lack of trust and too much money coming in from the government, which makes crypto more attractive for consumers. Additionally, there's a lack of trust in the banks and how the banking system works. And I talk a lot about how the ACH system works and how long that takes. So there's a growing massive market opportunity for crypto because of the things noted on this slide. I want to take a moment and give some of the key metrics of Voyager that we announced at the end of March, at the end of our quarter. We were averaging over 14 million deposits every single day. Our average spread at least 90 basis points, slightly higher, has been trending on lately as well. And it's all based upon the mix of the coins that people trade on our platform. Bitcoin is the lowest at about 40 to 45 basis points, so significantly lower than some of the competition out there that has started to offer cryptocurrency, that are offering Bitcoin at 2%. It's quite a large fee to pay when we're offering it at 40 to 50 basis points. And our principal value, we're trading our AUM somewhere between 1 to 1.5 times in a given month. But really the most important metrics that we look at as a company is what's it taking to acquire an account. You know, our account acquisition costs are about $40 per account, and we're earning up to about $100 a month per account. So you can see the metrics of account acquisition are very favorable for Voyager. And we've been growing the business substantially. Through March, it was a month-over-month 35%, and we have not seen any slowdowns in the month of April as our business continues to exponentially grow. Some other key points that we like to point out on our business. We just announced $2.4 billion of assets at the end of March. If you just do simple math and say that 14 million going each day on the platform, you can see where we get to and where we are now, plus some increase in the market prices. You can kind of guess where the assets are as of today. We do have over 55 assets, over 20 of them bearing interest. We are regulated and operating only in the U.S. today. We're in 49 states. We're working very closely with the DFS. We feel like we're very close and working with them and obtaining the infamous BIT license. In addition, we're working with the OSC, the Ontario Securities Commission in Canada, to receive our exemptive relief so that we can operate in Canada in 2021, and working very closely, even though we do have the license in France, with the AMF to make sure that all our KYC and AML procedures are signed off by the AMF. So this business has really grown, and we've only been in business 3 years. I have to remind myself of that sometimes, that we started this business in early 2018. And in 3 short years, we've done 3 acquisitions. We've grown our assets to $2.4 billion plus over those 3 years. We've grown our customer base to what we announced, 275,000 plus what we have in what we've grown in April. So we're massively growing in a really fast manner, especially considering that the app didn't come to market until a beta version in February 2019, and then we had the full version with our Android with interest came to the market in November 2019. So less than 18 months, we built a business with over 300,000 funded accounts, millions of verified users on the platform, and 3 billion such of assets, or close to it, based upon just doing the math of 2.4 billion plus the net deposits plus the market value increases. We're probably in that 3 billion range. So you could see in 15, 16 short months how we've grown our business. Second attractive piece of the second leg of our stool on why everyone should consider Voyager as one of their investments is our attractive business model. We obtain consumers, from 4 different ways. We get the pure BTC investors. We get the yield seekers that are looking for interest on their coins. Those who just want to trade the altcoins, and then those who want to come to Voyager because we are a cost-conscious place to execute trades. As I noted, 40 to 45 basis points on Bitcoin compared to 200 basis points at most other places. One thing we found in our business is that the interest offering has really expedited our AUM growth and continues to expedite our AUM growth. We have such compelling rates. People are bringing their assets in from other places to take part in this interest offering. And when they do, then they see all the other coins we offer, and they start trading some of those coins or investing in some of the other coins. The interest is a very compelling model and very sticky, and we gain new customers from that model. The next slide here talks about, it's the bottom left to top right. Many of you have probably seen this before, but over the last 16 months, we've gone from 5 million of customer assets at December 2019 to over 2.4 billion at the end of March. And as I said, continuing to grow in April when you just do simple math. Our accounts are sticky, and we see them growing with people adding more and more assets to the platform. And the other second chart we like to show is bottom left to top right, is the amount of trades we processed from December 2019 to March. We trade, on the slide we talk about 2 million processed in March. We actually processed 2.8 million trades, or 40% growth in the month of March, and that's growing too. So you could see the amount of growth we've had in just a very short time. Now, how do we acquire our accounts? Well, we have a really interconnected acquisition experience. When we started our business, we focused everything on the content marketing side of our world. We send out blogs and newsletters, and we engage consumers through that content. We then have that redistributed through some of our partners like Sterling Trader Tech and Market Rebellion. Market Rebellion is the education platform run by John and Pete Najarian and Dirk Muller, and they push our content out through them. We've also been very active in social media and in a community and building a community, and that community has been built off of the three legs of the stool. I said that the three touch points that we have for consumers: our token, our stock, and our platform. So we've built a very big community that follows us on social media as well and gets information about the company and transactions and what's going on the platform. We coupled all that with our paid advertising efforts, digital advertising. We've increased that, and we're continuing to increase that. Same with our promotions and sponsorships, as we're looking at multiple ways to keep increasing our marketing budget to attract more consumers to the platform. But then last but not least is the affiliate and influencer relationships. You know, we've done a really nice job in engaging with a lot of crypto influencers and professional athletes. We have guys like Matt Barkley, Stephen Piscotty, Marshall Falk, all influencers for Voyager who are helping spread the word and engage consumers. The next slide is one that's become very popular, is our competitive differentiation. Now, we had to tweak this in the last 2 weeks. We had to give Coinbase their green dot in the publicly traded box. But as you can see, when you look at this slide, we have more coins, more interest, zero commission. We're unaffiliated with exchange, so we're going to multiple places to give consumers a depth of liquidity. And we're one of two only publicly traded that are in the crypto exchange broker space without doing everything else. So specific to the crypto industry, we have a lot of differentiation from the competition. Some of the things that are going to continue our growth. We talked about the geographic expansion into France and Europe and into Canada, and that's coming. We're working on all that and working with the regulators on that. In addition, the desktop is in beta, as I mentioned. We're working on a debit card. We're working on credit card. We're working on loans against your crypto as well. So there's a bunch of traditional products we're working on, as well as partnerships to bring crypto. We recently announced an MOU with lottery.com. It's our first foray in using our system as a payment mechanism. So people will be allowed to use their cryptocurrencies to participate in the lottery ecosystem and the gaming ecosystem. And we expect to see more of that over time. Third leg of our stool of why Voyager is such an attractive investment is our scalable infrastructure. And we're continuing to scale this out. The end of January, we said that starting sometime in February, it would take us about 120 days to continue to scale our system as we see this exponential demand, and we're hard at work at this. We've increased our staff from 25 people at the end of December to about 100 right now. In 3.5 short months, we've basically grown our staff 4x, trying to add to our service, our technology, as the two main areas as we continue to significantly grow our business. And so this infrastructure is becoming significantly more scalable. Like everybody in this space, you see a little bumps in the road, but we're working through all that and getting ourselves bigger and more scalable and more efficient for every single consumer. Because the only thing that matters to us is the safety and security of our customer assets. It's our number one priority. So the scalability of the infrastructure to deliver that is our key component. And so you can look at more of this on our website, but we have this tremendous infrastructure that we're scaling. But everything we do has to be regulatory compliant. There's a lot of new legislation potentially, but really the key is about the KYC and AML aspect and making sure we abide by all those rules to make sure we run an efficient and safe environment. Some of the key components of our innovative tech. We've talked about the 50 plus assets we have and our smart order router that works to 10 different exchanges. And then the other thing is our custody and security. Again, number one priority, safety and security of customer assets. So we utilize multiple custodians, multiple security solutions, a lot of artificial intelligence, a lot of IP tracking, all to make sure our customer assets are safe and secure in these digital markets. Then the fourth leg of the stool of why Voyager is a very attractive investment for everybody is the trusted and transparency of our model and who we are. You know, we're trusted and transparent. It's an independent brokerage model. We're not connected to one exchange and send all our flow to one exchange. We're trying to make sure the customer gets the deepest pool of liquidity across the market. We work with trusted and well-known partners. And the next slide you can see on our website too, and I'll show it to you shortly, that has a whole bunch of well-recognized names that we work with. We're a public company. So every quarter, our financials are out in the public, showing the public that we have all the assets we say we have are there because they're audited and reviewed by a public company. We use Markham today as our public auditors. They're reviewing and auditing our financials on a quarterly and annual basis to show consumers that all the assets that are there are actually there, plus more. And then lastly, we have an experienced team. You know, our experienced team comes from, you know, a wide range of industries and in the capital markets for a long time. But the founding team that put this together, myself, I've been in the capital markets now for 27 years. I've been in online brokerage for 22 of those years. So I was there at E-Trade. I was there in the formative years. I helped build E-Trade from 1999 to 2006, and what I really do call the formative years of changing that business from being a marketing engine to being a brokerage firm. And then I built my own online brokerage called Lightspeed Financial, which grew 10x in 3 years. Now, my co-founders, Philip Aton and Gaspar Tadruzzi, serial entrepreneurs that have put together unbelievable companies, Pager in the telemed, Secure in the KYC space, both billion-dollar type companies. And then lastly, and again, definitely not the last one on our chart, is Oscar Salazar, the founding CTO of Uber. He built the very first Uber app. He's working with our team very closely on the scalability of our platform as we continue to grow this business out. But it goes much deeper than the founders. You know, after the founders, the management team we've been putting together, and we keep increasing to this, as a depth of knowledge across multiple industries and in the capital markets, which is second to none in the crypto markets. You know, you see a lot of E-Trade on here, a lot of ex-E-Traders who had helped build E-Trade to what it was and what it still is. Then you add, you know, Dan Costantino came on board from PenMed to run our technology and security. And he built the market-leading security and technology team across PenMed. And you could see the other names and the other industries and the other companies our team has worked with. It's a tremendous amount of talent that we have been able to put together and work at Voyager, which is all working together to make it the most safe and secure environment for consumers. Then lastly, you know, some of our catalysts to growth. You know, first and foremost, we're a very focused business. We're growing our business. We're scaling our business. You know, we're adding to our tech staff and our service staff to increase what we're doing. And we know there's a lot of work to be done, but we're continuing to be focused on delivering that. Focused on delivering our product expansion as some of the products I mentioned earlier that you can see on here. Increasing our coins, more debit card, credit card margin, stock trading. All these things are coming. And we're growing that and building out a business around being the super app for financial services on crypto of the future. You know, mass consumer acceptance. I still think we're in the top of the second inning of the adoption of cryptocurrencies. I still think we have a way to go, and we're early, and there's so much more opportunity for us. We touched on the international expansion and what we're working on that front. Regulation will come. As I mentioned, we think it's going to come. It might take 3 years, but I think it's going to come. And it will really help, you know, grow the business. And consolidation, you know, we have a lot of opportunities in front of us. We have $150 million of cash plus on our balance sheet. We could be active in looking at things in the crypto market to consolidate in to help grow our business. And we're excited about a lot of the opportunities that we see in the future here through consolidation. That's all I have. And now we're going to look at answering some questions. One of the questions that has come in, what are your plans to resolve the influx of customers and the demand on your resources? I touched on that earlier, but we have now, you know, 4x'd our staff, added staff, and we're adding every single week into service and technology to make it a better experience on that side for consumers. We understand consumers' frustrations, but bear in mind, everything we're doing is for the safety and security of customer assets. One bad customer affects another customer. And there's a lot of things that we're working on that will make this a much more efficient infrastructure. Our goal is over the next 9 to 12 months is not just have customer service, is be the leader in customer service in crypto. We know it's not there yet. We're working on that. We're actively have a plan in place and actively working on expanding our system and making changes so we can bring a better service experience in the industry to our consumers. We're not done yet. We're nowhere near done. We're just in the beginnings, and we're excited about what we're going to bring. Next question. Are there plans to uplist to the NASDAQ for the stock? Where are you at that process? Well, we've been saying this for a while. We're excited by Coinbase joining the party and becoming a public company. It's given us a little bit of a playbook on the documents that have to be written, the process has to go through. We're actively working on a bunch of things to get us closer and closer there. That is our plan to get to NASDAQ. Our first step in that process is to graduate from the CSE to the TSX as we keep growing. We're like the third or fourth largest company on the CSE today. We're actively working towards getting to the TSX, and then the next step would be NASDAQ. And again, super excited about that. What three upcoming innovative features are we most excited about? Well, the beta desktop is extremely exciting to me. It's being used. We see great positive feedback on that. We just have to work with one of our third-party providers who have helped us on building it and scaling this out, but we're really excited about that and the revenue that it can bring and the customer experience that it can bring to the business as well. It's a tremendous platform. It has great charting tools on it, and I think people will be really excited when we can bring that to the market. The second is the debit card. We're really excited about the debit card and what that can actually bring and have consumers earn up to 10% interest on the USDC coin, all at the same time being able to swipe that and be able to access their funds at any point in time. And then third, the third that we're really excited about is the stock trading that we're looking to add to, that we're working with. Obviously, I mentioned Market Rebellion and John and Pete Najarian and Dirk Muller. We're actively working with them on that solution. We're excited about that. Hopefully more to come on that very near future. We're excited about the ability for people to trade stocks using Bitcoin or USDC as their denomination. Here's a really good question that we see. Why is there a 25,000 USD limit posed on transferring coins out? That's a really good question, but you know why? It's because we're trying to keep customers secure. We can't tell you the number of times customers have reached out to us about the possibility that they were SIM swapped or they had their account compromised. So the fact that we do limit the withdrawals to that really is a protectionary measure for consumers, that they can't lose money if they get hacked or can't lose substantially. If you have a $500,000 account, do you want a hacker to actually be able to SIM swap you and move that out? The answer is no. So it's one of the process and procedures we put in place to protect consumers. So again, going back to what our focus is, scalability of the system, security and safety of customer assets. So if you see withdrawals on customer assets, there's usually a reason. Customers have to get through. If you're a good customer to us and every deposit you made has cleared, immediately with your bank and they've never failed, you have no problems with withdrawals. So we're excited about some of the things we put in because we think it all leads to safety and security of customer assets. Is the Coinbase listing a plus or minus for Voyager? That's a really interesting question. We thought we think it's a plus. In the end, we think it's a plus. I think there's short-term pains we've all felt as people are analyzing the industry, but long-term, having another company be public of their size is not just good for us, it's really good for the industry. And we're really excited about, them being part of the public company. And now us following their trail. They followed our trail to be public because we were the first public company. Now we're going to follow their tail and get to NASDAQ over time because they paved the way for us. So we're really excited about that. That's all the time we have for actual questions today. I appreciate everybody, the tremendous amount of people that I see as the audience today. We're really excited about our business. Thank you so much for spending a half hour with us and learning a lot more about Voyager. and appreciate all the support that we've received from our customers and community over the last 2+ years, and especially over the last month. It is very heartwarming for us to get that support, and we're so excited about the future of Voyager. So thank you very much to all for attending today.
Thank you. This does conclude today's webcast. Thank you for your participation and have a wonderful day.